Imagine this. You're in a crowded train station during rush hour, and you see a person kneeling down and looking pale. How many of you will actually take the time to make sure that person is okay? I'm willing to bet that most of you would answer, I will. But when you're actually faced with a situation like this, you will likely make excuses to avoid the situation, such as, I'm busy now. They're too far from me. Someone else will take care of it. This is how I used to feel when I was faced with a problem, big or small. I made excuses that I wasn't able to do something to make myself feel less guilty. However, that completely changed on the night of March 20th, 2024. I went to my grandmother's apartment in Saitama for spring vacation. I always travel with my mother, but since she had something to do back in Sendai, I went alone for the first time. Me and my grandma caught up on things and everything was going well. Until she tripped on a cord and fell. She was still conscious, but looking pale. I asked her if she was okay and brought her a glass of water as well as an ice pack. She said she was fine, but I didn't know what to do. My mind was blank at that moment, as we were all alone. Calling my mother was the only action that I could think of. I hit the call button on my phone, my heart beating from the nerves and worry. I was so relieved when I heard my mom's voice on the phone. I explained what had happened, and she calmly suggested that I call the ambulance and tell them my current situation. That was when I realized that no one could turn this around except me. I had to get moving and call the ambulance. I had to look the problem directly in the eye and face it, because no one else would. I called the ambulance for the first time in my life. It was nerve-wracking to say the least, but I was relieved to know that everything was going to work out. My grandmother returned home the same day and turned out to be just fine. This experience opened my eyes to a new perspective. I was able to take action because I was the only person who could. But now, I want to be able to do the same thing, even when other people are around. If someone has trouble in public, I used to think someone else would help them. There are so many people around anyway. Me trying to help wouldn't make a difference. But I realized that most people think like that. Nobody will take action if everyone believes that someone else will. I therefore want to act. I do not want to be like the majority of people, those who would pass by, worry about the person for a little while, and then assume someone else would come to their aid. Instead of thinking that someone else will step up and help, like the majority, I want to become that someone else to everyone. The someone else who steps up when no one else does. The someone else who acts instead of hoping someone else will. I believe if more people did the same, the world would be a warmer and more loving place. Now, let me ask you all again. Would you take the time out of your busy day to reach out to someone having trouble? Would you be that someone else?